happy to see the many different actors in the room, government representatives, investors, banks, business and non-governmental organizations. Thank you for being here to share your expertise and experiences. Today you will be talking on aligning capital flows from the capital markets and explore opportunities for investment in critical sectors and to enhance NDCs in line with the long-term goals of the Paris Agreement. The outcomes of your discussion will be very important as it is widely recognized that large-scale financing is required to achieve the goals of the Paris Agreement. Private sector funds play a crucial role in this. We have seen impressive strides already been made in the private sector climate financing amongst the investment, finance and banking sectors. Innovative financing approaches are now being widely established and all involve the private sector. This reinforces the need for public and private sector funding in order to achieve our goal of reaching net zero emissions by this mid-century. Ladies and gentlemen, government should set conducive investment and policy frameworks to encourage such private and public funding arrangements. The recently published 2018 Yearbook of Global Climate Action states that governments need to implement climate policies not just in the short term, but also setting the long-term strategies. By setting these long-term strategies, governments give certainty to actors, including to investors, banking sectors, and the private sector to unlock finance and step up investment in the Paris-compliant activities. NASCA, the Global Climate Action Portal, has been revamped and launched at the Global Climate Action Summit in San Francisco. The portal provides visibility of climate commitments from many thousands of cities and businesses and investors, ranging from individual commitments to cooperative initiatives. Currently, there are 363 investors representing 2,900 actions contained in the portal. It is clear that a substantial amount of financing will be needed to support mitigation and adaptation efforts, and especially in developing countries. While we recognize that multilateral funding is increasing, we are still confronted with the challenge of accessing funds, especially for us from developing countries. It should be clearly recognized that we affected countries do not have the luxury of time to wait for funds to arrive. We need more streamlined and swift disbursement of finance, while of course recognizing the accountability responsibilities that come with this. We need more innovative financing from the private sector to support sustainable financial flow to specific sectors and to support specific initiatives. For smaller island developing states like Fiji, financing for adaptations is one of our top priorities. We need to both increase the scale and the scope of adaptation financing. Remember, climate investment is not about targeting one sector alone. The targeted impacts of such financing should be scaled up and be as broad as possible. Only then can we guarantee true adaptation and overall resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, governments need the contribution and support of the private sector, especially innovative investors like you, to be inspired and confidently submit more ambitious targets, knowing that there are financing instruments to support this implementation. I would like to end with our theme for global climate action: embracing inclusive multilateralism. We cannot win this fight alone. Let's step up for ambition together. And thank you.
Minister, thank you very much. You ended with the words around inspiration. That has been very inspirational. I'd like to particularly highlight the point we don't have the luxury of time, particularly access to finance in developing countries. So thank you very much for setting our direction.